Heyo everyone, and happy spooky day. Or should I say unhappy spooky day? Cause you're gonna be really scared the whole time. Okay, yeah, I'm done with this bit. Welcome to Zelda Enemy Analysis. Today we'll be looking at a Zelda enemy that, unlike my intro to this video, is actually scary. The REDEAD. I said the Can we get a picture on screen, please? Can we see the picture? Oh my! The Legend of Zelda carries so many strengths across its games that it's no wonder so many have become diehard fans. But ask any of us Zelda fans who grew up with Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, what about them hooked us so early on? And if we're being honest, one of the main reasons inevitably was that they scared us so bad we pooped our diapers. This is the funniest joke in all of Zelda. This right here. See it? It's hilarious. So let's talk REDEADs. And you know what? Let's make it interesting. REDEADs appear in 5 mainline Zelda games, so I'm going to cover them in order of how scary I think they are. From least to most. Ready? Let's do it. In last place, our least scary REDEAD is the most recent. Echoes of Wisdom. To make them more like everything else in the game, they somehow made REDEADs look almost cute. Keyword being almost. Nevertheless, the core characteristics of a REDEAD are all here, so let's briefly go over those. We got ourselves a zombie with creepy face. Check. Moves slowly. Check. Lets out a piercing scream that paralyzes all who hear it with fear. Definitely check. But with this being Echoes of Wisdom and all, once you beat an enemy, you can make your own copies that can fight for you. REDEADs by default cost 3 triangles to summon. That sure was a sentence right there. But you'd rarely need more than one out at a time since they're mainly useful for stunning enemies. And this easily makes up for how slowly they move. Faster enemies won't necessarily have the upper hand. REDEADs, they know the strats. Okay, but let's go a step scarier now. Next up is Triforce Heroes. Look, I got footage this time. REDEADs and Triforce Heroes are late game enemies with a couple characteristics unique to this game, such as their blue mask, and the fact that they can melt into the ground for some reason. As a result, REDEADs in this game are fast. What's more, the paralyzing shriek makes for a different experience with multiplayer. If one player gets too close, they'll get paralyzed and the REDEAD will cling to that person and attack. It's then up to the other players to now hit the now vulnerable REDEAD and free their buddy. You can also hit him with a projectile, but it's a much slower game if that's all you do, since they only let you get 1 or 2 hits in before they hide in the ground again. Compare that to how many hits you can get when they're attacking a friend. See? Using friends as baits is way better. Okay, that was pretty creepy, sure. But honestly, still small potatoes compared to the 3 to come, starting now with Majora's Mask. REDEADs are almost identical here to their cousins in Ocarina of Time, which we'll cover later, but in Majora's Mask there are some notable differences. First off, you can now instantly kill them by reflecting lights onto them with your shield. Couldn't do that in Oot. Second, you can actually create a new REDEAD in this game by burning the bandages off a Gibdo enemy. Now that's pretty scary. But last of all, and perhaps most importantly, consider the circumstances when you most likely first would see them. To get to Iconic Castle, the mini dungeon where they are, you'll first need to acquire and utilize the Garrow's mask and the Gibdo mask. That being said, it's pretty likely that one of the two would be equipped at the time you decide to enter the castle. And so the very first thing you'll see is a room of 4 REDEADs. But if you are wearing one of these 2 masks, for some insane reason, the REDEADs will be dancing. They're dancing. Okay, so maybe it's a little funny looking, but I mean, here's the thing. Majora's Mask is a weird, freaky game overall. I expect creepy things from this game, and so entering a room and seeing these zombies doing ballet out of nowhere is somehow one of the few things that could still catch me off guard and totally unnerve me this late in the game when I was a kid. Take the mask off and they immediately go back to zombie mode. Put it on and they literally cannot hurt you, which is nice because they give you 15 to 20 rupees a piece and they respawn every time you leave the room and come back. I mean, like, these guys are loaded. I expect creepy zombie enemies to shriek, move slowly, try to grab you, etc. But the Russian sailor dance? You win, Majora's Mask. You know, you got me. Now for the last 2 games, it is honestly super hard for me to decide which is creepier, but if I had to pick, by a narrow margin, our number 2 is Wind Waker. Yeah, this game has REDEADs. If you've played it, there's no way you forgot that fact. But if you haven't played it, maybe you'd be surprised. Wind Waker overall is a happy game, pleasant to look at, cartoony and colorful. On a surface level, this is all true, but once you enter the Earth Temple, you'll see. Oh, nope, no thank you. Like every other REDEAD, their eyes are vacant and dark, but only when they're undisturbed in this game. Get too close and these nightmares' eyes light up as they begin their slow advance. But at least they're not in the basement of your vacation house. Oh no! Arrows only do so much. Ice arrows only freeze them for a very brief time. And fire arrows, literally unfazed. If we were going off just how they looked, these REDEADs would be number 1. However, I just gotta hand it to the originals from Ocarina of Time, the true number 1 pick. And again, it's because of context. The first time you'll see these enemies likely is in one of 2 situations. One is right after you pull the Master Sword, accidentally let Ganondorf take over the world, and wake up from a 7-year nap. You are not a kid anymore. You're an adult. And to let that really sink in, first thing you'll see when you leave the temple is a desolate, ruined castle town full of nothing but these horrific, shrieking creatures.
Disgusting.
It's arguably even worse if you first discover them in the royal family's tomb instead, before you even get the Master Sword. A literal skeleton in the entry room will warn you about the lurkers in the dark. Should you continue to the next room, you'll be greeted by this. Did you know that REDEADs are actually blind in this game? If you steel yourself and try walking slowly past one, you'll actually go completely unnoticed. Those hollow eye sockets really are just eye sockets. Here's another tidbit. Kill a REDEAD and every other REDEAD in the room will immediately start slowly trudging toward the corpse, ignoring you. And once it gets to it, it'll bend down and mourn? Or is it eating the remains? Who knows? Anyway, that's the end of the video. Heyo again. If you enjoyed this video and would like to help my little channel grow, please don't forget to subscribe. There's still plenty of Zelda Enemy Analysis to come. I have a couple videos planned out already, actually. Due to several life circumstances having changed, I should be able to make these videos more frequently than before now, which honestly has me pretty excited. Until next time though, have a nice, spooky day, and goodbye.